Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Fallout Shelter. Always a whole different set of rules at YouTube and a whole different set of buttons to click when I start up that I'm not used to doing, so y'all bear with me just one second. Oh, hope everybody's having a great day, a great Saturday or morning, evening, whatever it is, whatever you're at, whatever the case may be. It is 3 p.m. Central. Hey there, Furious Cabbage, Becca Morrison, and Good Mackie. Good to see you guys. Much love to you all. Moto J81, what's up? Hello, everybody. I know I don't get over here very often, just time don't allow it. And we stream nightly at dlive. I know some of you guys have trouble with the dlive apps, but I promise you, everybody that takes the time to learn it a little bit, they absolutely love it once they get acquainted with it. And we actually have a really good time over there. So Sharp and Twisted Betty Sue, welcome in. Much love to you. I know it's a little something new, but everybody says, oh, we got to do something other than YouTube. Well, I do my best to stay strictly where I started and come over here when I can. So I'm going to come over here and share some things that we've been going over nightly there. I'm going to introduce you to some new glands you have in your body that you might not know about. That's kind of interesting. And basically just go over some of the crap that has been building up that I thought would be interesting and share with you guys. Dark winter incoming, absolutely. And I will show you the government documentation from the dark winter operation that was done back in 2001. I believe I have it pulled up as well. I'm doing something different because it just quite frankly takes me way too long to get ready to do a YouTube stream and get all of the links and try to redo the thing every freaking time. So I will be sharing the links in the chat as we go, and whatever links I use, I will do my best to get every one of them into a pinned comment after it's over or something. This isn't my everyday thing, so bear with me. I get it the best I can. Whew. Ha. And I just started with my coffee. It just got ready a few minutes ago. And we were up late last night. We streamed till after midnight on dlive last night. We kind of do a little truth or hangout where we go over the news. We try to make it a little funny. We try to have it lighthearted. And over there, I can play some videos and some music. So last night, it was like some 80s headbanging heavy metal, some righteous activism type stuff, you know. If you're into that type of thing, you probably have a good time over there. We're going to do the same thing tonight after Mike Morales streams at Above Ground World News. Hey there, T. Luke. Good to see you. So, let's see. I'm so used to doing things a different way. Hey, check this out. I want y'all to see this picture. If I show you this picture without any headline, I'm not even gonna give you any words yet about it. If I showed you this picture in the day and age that we're in, I think you would absolutely, and I did, before I read any headline, I would have been like, oh my goodness, it's another COVID test. What are they testing for? Why are they probing the back of our brain with a COVID test? And I was like, well, let's just look up some COVID tests. Just to Google COVID tests and see what they show. Well, this is what we see, right? So that's exactly what we just saw on that screen. Well, so we're taking right now and we're trying to stick this swab in the nose of 7 to 8 billion humans. I mean, because we need to test them all. And we need to stick this long swab and we need to scrub their brain. Okay, why are we doing that? Like, can't we get a complete genetic genome breakdown of you through your spit? Weren't we told that back in the 90s? Oh yeah, you wipe your mouth on a napkin. I got your DNA. I can clone you. Are we really to believe that we're not so much further removed from that in the scientific world now that you've got to probe the back of my brain? Huh. Okay, well, so we've got all these pictures here. Testing for COVID can be positively confusing because we have to stick this long swab to the back of your brain. COVID-19 efforts from the Department of Art as applied to medicine. we're sticking the swab, you see here, to the ear, to the back of the brain. I just want everybody to see, I'm not making any of this up. This right here is mainstream news. You don't have to change it. You don't have to alter it. This is exactly what they're showing. Okay, we've got to probe to the back of your brain. Well, all of a sudden, I'm flipping through MSN, and scientists have found a possible new set of organs hidden deep in the human skull. So you're going to tell me after thousands of years of brutality to the human body and the dead human body, of cracking it open, cutting it open, peeling it open, we may not have understood what the brain did, but we sure knew what the inside of a brain looked like thousands of years ago, because people are just that way. We're still cutting open Egyptian mummies to find out what they look like. Why do we gotta keep opening up every freaking mummy that we find in Egypt? I mean, don't you not see the pattern here? You get buried here. What happens here in 3,000 years if humanity's still around and it's just God's plan? Well, they might just start cracking open coffins to find out what was so brutal about this time period that they need to make a change on. So we all of a sudden now, during the time of ramming this thing up everybody's nose that will allow it and consent to it, we have found a new possible set of organs hidden deep inside the skull. Listen, now let's not even go back into the brutality era. Let's go back to the 90s. I know a lot of us lived the 90s in a way that we don't remember a lot of the 90s. But I do remember this part of the 90s. I was having really bad headaches. So back in those days, I did what every good tax slaving American would do, and I went to the doctor. And they said, well, we need to take a image of your noggin and we'll tell you what's wrong. And they gave me this thing called a CAT scan, magnetic imaging devices that take images of like a slice of millimeter layers of your skull. So they take these things of my skull, and which means everybody else that had one, they took those of their skull. And you telling me all of these specialists over the last 4 decades of magnetic imaging just missed these glands that are right where we happen to be ramming this thing up people's nose? We happen to only be able to test for COVID right where they're pointing these glands to be. There's some common sense that people have just lost entirely to even ask the question, huh? If you could just ask the question, huh, you'd be on a good start right here. But most people will be like, oh, wow, they'll finally be able to do something about my sinuses. You mean after 50 years of cutting people's sinuses open, we just discovered something new and we happen to be tested for COVID on top of it? Give me a break, people. They've got you so dumbed down with the fluoride in the water, the chemicals in the sky, and your food that is just absolutely nothing when it gets to you, because everything in it's been cooked out for shelf life. You give that fluoridated stare, and you go, wow, that's really cool. Science is doing something for me. No, they're lying to you. That didn't just pop up. Now, if that did pop up, it could absolutely, in my opinion, be a mutation to the possible geoengineering and all of the bull crap that's done to us with microplastics and the poisons that they knew were in all of this stuff for a long time. We know some people have a thing called Morgellons. I don't know a ton about it, but we know that it exists and this happens to people. And some people say that is their body's allergic reaction to things going on with nanoparticulates and things in the sky, that instead of the nanofibers doing like they're supposed to do, they actually grow inside of people. That is scientifically possible, and there's papers on it that prove it. Is this possible that and listen, I told everybody at dlive, and we talk about it a lot, that at some point COVID is going to be tied together with climate change and all of Bill Gates's efforts to block the sun and come together in that deal with controlling everything, like putting a thermostat on Earth basically, and being able to program the rain and the whole 9 yards. That's his deal. That's what he wants to do. and he's put his money where he gets that opportunity. But for all of a sudden, a new gland to pop up, that's big news, people. Because new glands don't just pop up in the human body with what we know about medicine over the past 30 to 40 years. We've cut up enough cadavers to know what's going on in the human body, especially the head. I mean, we even know that brains look different in patients with CTE because we cut their heads up after they die. All right? 1,000 years of autopsies and we're just going to miss this gland? Give me a break, man. Give me a break. I've been harping on this story for nights at dlive. And I just thought maybe it was time to bring it along over here, that this one absolutely deserved a shot to get it popped up on what's going on. If I missed anybody, Data Junkie, Humble Disciples, I can't see this chat real good when it's on. So YouTube sucks. Hoop D's, good to see you guys. Crazy Eyes, much love to all of you. Steve Ladner, Sander. Wow, I missed a lot. I got on a little bit of a rant there, didn't I? Welcome in. Hanging out. Oh, Joe Shields, welcome in. Seen you last night headbanging in the dlive hangout. That was a good time. Alright, that's as far back as my chat goes. So, good to see all you guys hanging out today. Let's see. What else have I got? I know there's some more here. I'm just trying to get fired up on my coffee. Some of this stuff I don't know if it's old. I don't know if it's new, but it's up on the screen, so we'll check it out. That was the coronavirus testing. What you should know, that puts it back with the. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do here, because I forgot. Y'all let me forget. I'm not used to this. There is a link for testing of coronavirus, which is not a big deal, but there's the link for it. And this is the link for the MSN story. And I'm going to try to get this stuff into our Discord too. So, all right. Okay, I think that gets that under control. Oh, and let's see. There's an advertisement right there. Check that out. For Lambs EMF proof underwear. I did a lot of research on Lambs. Actually become a partner with them. Really good stuff there. Interesting to see that on this page. Just kind of caught me off guard. Oh golly, y'all gotta check this out. Y'all have got to check this out. Okay. If you thought the mask was too far and you thought the face shield just was not enough protection, coming to you from Visor Technologies is the independent air filtration walk-around system with a built-in glove. It's for working where distancing is not always possible from Visor Technologies. Just look how happy these individuals appear when they wrap this patented technology around their head with a beautiful filter design that keeps them protected from the deadly coronavirus. You know, I would tell you a joke about the coronavirus, but there's like a 99% chance you wouldn't get it anyway. Anyway, you know, since we're dealing with these viruses that only 99% of the population are gonna survive, we must have this new Visor technology. Checking out the new BioVisor 1.0, the evolution of personal protection. You can find this great technology written about in the New York Times, Bloomberg, Forbes, Hypebeast, Business Insider, The Telegraph, Mashable, Adweek, Los Angeles Times, and Condé Nast. The BioVisor 1.0 is a personal air purifying shield for everyday. Remember when we wore the tinfoil hats? Do you remember when you walked around and they would be like, we're normal, and look at you, you idiot, you think things are being dumped out of airplanes in the sky, and now they're walking around with a surgical mask and a welding shield to go to the grocery store, and they're looking at you like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? You're gonna die because you don't have that on. Remember when those roles were flipped? Oh my goodness gracious. Hey there, Ann, Scott Watcher Footage, Lynette, and I think I seen Paris is calling. Welcome in. Much love to you guys. Oh my gosh. And you guys, this isn't a news story. This isn't something like that. I ran across this in an advertisement, so I'm giving you a news story on this. I'm breaking this story here. We are in trouble because this is their mission. And this kind of bothered me a little bit, but we know it. And the thing is if it wasn't for the freaking COVID and that we're mandating you wear a mask, we might be living at a time that I'd be going, hey guys, you know, they're dumping harmful chemicals out of airplanes. It might be time to get our personal air filtration devices. But since they're mandating I wear it, I'm like, absolutely not. I refuse. I do not consent. And I'd rather die a free rebel than live a sheep in your tyranny. Our mission is to take respiratory protection to the next level and bring powered air purifying technology to the people who need it most. From wildfires to urban pollution to pandemics to chemtrails, my words. Access to clean air can no longer be taken for granted. This is a sales slogan for a company that is selling you air purification. It says, clean air can no longer be taken for granted. Oh. And that sucks, but as silly as this design is, that statement right there is absolutely true. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to die on a planet from respiratory illness before I walk around with that silly thing on my head. It just ain't happening. Oh, and I apologize. I cannot see the YouTube chat. It's so tiny the way I have this set up. I apologize. I've really been trying. And, I'll have to make some arrangements for this. Anyway, I honestly could not believe that I was bringing you this story. Let's see. Let's see what else. Let's go a different direction for a second. I'm gonna share something with you guys. And I'm not going to get into this a whole lot, but I'm going to share the link with you real quick so that you can look at the whole thing yourself if you would like. And I find this odd. I had this up to actually show before I knew anything about. I don't watch the debates. I don't watch the presidential crap going on. It's not my thing. It's all orchestrated to keep us divided no matter which side of it you're on. If you're on either side, they win because it's a way to keep us from being able to fight together against the tyranny that is what happens when they come together. But if you come to October 25th, 2001, they had a thing called the Dark Winter Scenario and Bioterrorism. Now, I would love to tell you I read this whole thing and it's all full of everything, but I haven't. The only thing I have read, and I'm going to scroll through it quickly so you might not want to watch the screen, is like down here at the end. And I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Wow, this is going to suck when I have to go try to get all these links in the description in a little while. Or in the chat. Or maybe it's easier that way. I don't know. Hey, Sam Reports. Good to see you. Hey, I can see that better. Zoomed on in there. Lori Ann White. I'm glad y'all were able to catch it too. Good. It worked out great. get to see a lot of you guys. And look, I know I say it over and over, and I know a lot of you guys struggle with it. dlive nightly, 8 p.m. During the week if I can, and if I don't make it at 8, I'm liable to still come on after Mike Morales. Weekends, sometimes I do an early stream, but usually always a 2 to 3 hour late night stream with just hangout, try to do funny news, try to have us a place where we can hang out, have fellowship with each other, and not do the same redundant thing that we do all day where we go, oh my gosh, we're all going to die. God, please help us. And that's good, but there comes a point where we go, God, thank you for everything that you're doing for us. And let's enjoy and relax it. Let's have that life and have it more abundantly. And I've been trying to do that for Saturday nights and Friday nights. Just do a hangout. I can play music over there. People can have a good time. And so, yeah. Tenfold TV, good to see you. Much love. Good to see all you guys. I'm still struggling. So, all right. This is at the end of whatever I just showed you. This was the dark whatever. Wow. Let's just start right here. Senator Collins, you mentioned that future attacks might be genetically engineered attacks. What should we be doing in the field of genetics research to prevent and preempt these attacks in the future? So, going back to 2001, this was their answers in a Senate hearing. Genetic engineering is a two-edged sword. As soon as recombinant technologies were discovered, remember, this is 2001. We're finding out about recombinant technology like it's new stuff right now. You know, we're finding out, they're coming out with like a Novi and Novavax going, look at our brand new patented technology that's brand new. It's brand new. Check it out. Well, this is 2001 in your Senate hearings, and these still politicians are going, yeah, this new recombinant technology that they knew about 20 years ago, what might be believed would be the misapplication of genetic manipulation technologies to create more deadly pathogens. Well, of course it is! Based on several sources, it appears that genetically engineered biological agents have been developed, and weaponized. Yeah, because DARPA has done so. However, advances in genetic engineering provide tremendous capabilities for preventing the threat from biological weapons, which means we have to build the weapon to build a way to fight against it. So, as long as we're better than every other country in doing it, we're good. Yeah. 18-year-old, you can't go buy cigarettes. 18-year-old, you can't go buy beer, but your American government can send you to war. It's the best we can do for you. Thank you for your service, son. Oh, based on several sources, it appears that they have been deployed and weaponized. However, advances in genetic engineering provides tremendous capabilities for preventing that threat. At the most fundamental level, genetic engineering techniques are being employed by a variety of organizations to map the genomes of pathogens. That way they can do what they're doing in 2020 and map the genome of your DNA and RNA by changing the protein structure with your mRNA and reprogramming it for these pathogens. Potent potential threat agents include the causative agents of plague, salmonella, and anthrax have had genome maps recently completed. This is in 2001. Hey there, don't vax me, bro. Good to see you. This genetic information will yield critical information that will be useful in understanding. See, are we just supposed to forget that they were doing genetic engineering in the 90s? Kind of like with that story about we're swabbing the back of your brain, but oh, we just found a new organ in there that we've never found before. You know, even though we were doing genetic engineering in the 90s. No, this is the thing about it. People go, well, this is real information of what they talked about behind closed doors that never was anything made a big deal of. Listen to the last part. Colonel Larson, what is being done now in the field of genetics and what investments are being made by the DoD medical communities today toward this end? This is 2001. There are numerous projects exploiting advances in genetics and biotechnologies to develop countermeasures to biological agents. As mentioned, there is extensive basic research to map the genome of human pathogens. Separate genome mapping efforts are being sponsored by the Department of Defense. Okay, that kind of makes sense. It's also being sponsored by the Department of Energy and the Department of Health and Human Services. Energy? Department of Energy? Reckon why that is? Because the government knows you are energy. One of the biggest things in batteries right now is harvesting human energy for your wearable devices so that your kinetic movements are powering your devices. The Department of Energy knows everything about energy. Under the Chemical and Biological Defense Program, the Department of Defense is sponsoring recombinant vaccine research. That's DARPA. That's what's coming out now, 20 years after this. You know, this new technology. And development efforts to counter specific biological agents. These vaccines are being developed to provide effective protective with very limited rates of adverse reaction. Some of the vaccine development efforts include recombinant multivalent vaccine for Venezuela equine encephalitis, recombinant protective antigen anthrax vaccine candidate, and recombinant plague vaccine candidates, a genetically characterized live attenuated vaccine to counter Brucella species, and recombinant botulinum vaccine. In addition, DoD is sponsoring research using naked DNA vaccines, replicon technologies, gene insertion, and gene shuffling techniques to demonstrate multivalent and multi-agent vaccines. Support these efforts in the development of needleless delivery methods for recombinant protein vaccines. This includes techniques such as intranasal and inhaled vaccines that would provide enhanced mucosal or systematic immunity to provide more effective protection against inhaled pathogens. DARPA is developing a variety of therapy. You get what I'm saying? This is 2001 in a Senate hearing. This is not new technology. This is old technology. Now, with all of that being said, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to, hey, Love Pugs, good to see you. Welcome in. Much love to you. I'm going to address maybe a little something that I got some comments on the last video. Janine Matos, Lisa Zabriskie, welcome. Yeah, I seen that viper venom using snake venom. Absolutely, I did see that. That is absolutely true. Don't vax me, bro. Welcome in. Much love to all you guys. Okay, check this out. I said something because there's a lot of people right now that are adamant that the vaccine is the mark of the beast. Okay, and I said I didn't know. Well, I'm going to show you kind of what my line of thinking is and where I'm headed on that. And you can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm going to show you what worries me even more than just the vaccines we're dealing with. And I'm going to explain to you why. It's absolutely in line. The vaccines are absolutely part of a program to get you prepared for that. But if you'll hang with me, I think you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. My dlive guys seen it. They've already seen this last night. So hang with me, and I want to talk to you about where I'm going. Now, I absolutely believe this verse of the Bible. Revelations 18:23. A lot of people have said, and I got the comment, they can't separate you from God. Well, maybe that's true. Maybe. No, not yet. I have not, Lorianne. Maybe they can't separate you from God. But what they can do is they can be the great deception that allows you to do things that separates you from God. So, if you get to the end and it says, and the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were great men of the earth, the elite, The great men of the earth. That's not a good term. That's a negative term. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Well, that's translated into the English from the Greek. If you go do just a little bit of, no, I'm not interested in whatever you're offering there. Just a little bit, and I'll get these links in the yeah, you can do that, Lorianne. That's good. And I'll probably pull it up too, see what's going on. If you go back to the Greek, the word sorcerer is the word pharmakia. Now, my problem with the vaccine is that there's 15 or 20 different companies working on a vaccine. If we get to the point of a single mark for a one world government, it's not going to be 20 companies working on it. Not going to work that way. It's going to be one. There's going to be one singular owner. There's going to be one family. And if we follow the path right now of the way that looks in this world, there's one family that sets the price of gold for the world every day, and it is the Rothschilds. They own 80% of the world banks. They own most of the world economies because they fund the world economies, and we know what Mayor Amschel said. If I control the bank, I control the country. Remember that. Now, this is the one that bothers me. And it's not so much the vaccine, it's the monitoring device. I've done a live stream, and I don't know if I've done a video here. Okay, let me back up. I'm not sharing the links. This is where you can find out about. And yes, when I want to know about a Hebrew word, I go look at their documents because that's the best place to find their truth. And I wanted to know about this word sorcery. That is absolutely pharmakia. Okay, now let's move to this right here. This is in the United States. This is a patent. And now I found this through an article that was butchering this all to pieces, and they were telling about, oh, see, the patents were back to 2017, when blatantly it says publication date September 3rd, 2020, filed May 17th, 2020. See, they were putting a butcher piece out, and it was complete disinformation with really good information. So I really didn't know what to make of that. I called them out on it, but I go over the information the way I see it nonetheless. Okay, I got that patent shared there. Let me read this to you. A method is provided for acquiring and transmitting biometric data of a user, where the data is analyzed to determine whether the user is suffering from a viral infection such as COVID-19. The method includes using a pulse oximeter to acquire at least pulse and blood oxygen saturation percentage, which is transmitted wirelessly to a smartphone. This is from the Profusa website. Injectable body sensors take personal chemistry to a cell phone, closer to reality. This was in March 19th, 2018. The problem was local inflammation and scar tissue from the foreign body response was preventing development of these in-body sensors. But this hydrogel, and remember, this comes from overseas. This isn't an American invention. That's important here in a minute. We move on, and they call it the Lumi oxygen platform. It is exactly what's being talked about in this patent, where it reads the oxygen level through a sensor that's implanted under the skin, and it reads through a wireless device and through a smartphone, where it can track and monitor and keep up with everything about you. Let's go back to the patent. To ensure that the data is accurate, an accelerometer within the smartphone is used to measure movement of the smartphone and or the user. That's just a tracking device. Once accurate data is acquired and uploaded to the cloud or host, we also just went over how Microsoft is putting these data center trailers out in the middle of nowhere for cloud computing, where the data is used alone or together with other vital signs to determine whether the user is suffering from or likely to suffer from, which means we want to know if you're suffering from or if we're going to predict you're suffering from a viral infection such as COVID-19. Depending on the specific requirements, the data changes thereto and or the determination can be used to alert medical staff and take corresponding actions, like come and put you in a quarantine in case you might have a cough, because maybe you just hit the blunt a little bit too hard. But your Lumi oxygen platform said you lost oxygen for a minute. It might be COVID-19. It might be Ganja 420. I don't know. Now, why is this important? The applicant and the inventor is listed as Richard A. Rothschild, which I also find odd, and I know the numbers just crazily line up like this. An R and an R, which I believe is a 17 and a 17, which is an 88. You know, it just never ends. The inventor is Richard A. Rothschild from London, and this is in the United States. Well, let's just look and see what it says in the Netherlands. Assisted and method for testing for COVID-19. And who have we got here? Oh, it's this Richard A. Rothschild again. A method is provided for acquiring and transmitting biometric data. Oh, wow, it sounds like the exact same patent, doesn't it? Where the data is analyzed to determine whether the user is suffering from a viral infection, such as COVID-19. We're going to use a pulse oximeter to acquire it. Okay, well, that's good. Well, let's see. I'm going to share this here with you. Then you'll also have the Netherlands version of the patent. There you go. And I'm back. And then I will show you the news that come out in March the 3rd, 33-2020, 3-3-2020. I'm not making it up. I'm just reading it off the screen. And it says, why are pandemics so hard to stop? Well, because the media's on television pushing it down people's throats on a daily basis about you got to be scared to death. It's the end of the world. Put your mask on in your car. The coronavirus is going to chase you down the interstate at 65 miles an hour and through the door of the restaurant all the way up to your table. But when you sit down to eat your meal, take your mask off. It's fine. It'll wait in the aisle for you to get done so it can chase you when you both have a full gut and the energy to do so. Come on, people. Common sense. Give me a break. Oh. Anyway, this goes to this is from the Science and Tech about the military-funded biosensor. So, the beautiful thing about it is DARPA had a lot of money involved in this. This Profusa company overseas is going to be the company that actually brings it to market. Your tax money did most of the development, and a Rothschild's name is on the patent. And it's on the patent for every country. Now, this is what I'm getting to about the mark of the beast. This is one company producing hydrogel, the thing that monitors all of your biosenses and your oxygen levels, and it actually becomes one with you. And its patent is owned by a name of a family member who we know is one of the families that runs the world and has been said and known to answer directly to Lucifer on this world. Now that starts to get my attention in that lineup. So just for the people that thought I had no care of the situation, I have a lot more care of the situation. I just have a little more in-depth looking than what's going on. Now, does the quantum dots and the Lucifer race and all that start to fall in line and present the picture? Absolutely. Can you be separated from your Creator with the deceptions of the sorcerers? According to Revelations, you can. And I'm not giving you an opinion. I'm telling you what Revelation says about your light being extinguished. Get on your knees. Get your relationship right with the Father in heaven. And He will lay these things onto your heart as to know exactly what to do. Now, I will guarantee you this. If you put your faith in any man, you will be at some point in life very disappointed. Men will disappoint you. All men will disappoint you. Take this for instance. You ever hear people go, "I just don't know why bad things happen to good people." Let's be real for a minute. Let's get some truth going on. Let's have some real truth going on. I've told most of my story in a public forum, either here or on dlive, and it's not something that I'm proud of, but it's a time in my life that I live that I do my best to be better for. And I own it. And it took me a while to do that, but I do. If we look back on our lives, and even if you try to count the numerous good things that you've done, and I tried. I stopped and helped people change tires, the little old lady on the side of the road with a flat, and hold doors for anybody and things of that nature, because I enjoy doing those things for people. But on the flip side of that, I'm still absolutely a human. I have done horrible things in times of desperation. I have done horrible things in times of my personal need. And I've done things that absolutely are what God considers an abomination. So when you go, why do bad things happen to good people? You know what? I would love to know too, but the first thing I need you to do is show me good people. None of us are getting what we deserve. We don't deserve anything. We're just fortunate we have a Father that loves us and welcomes us back in no matter what you've done. I really didn't have any idea what I was going to come up here and talk on and go into. And so we went this far. I think I've got another pretty interesting story. All of that was kind of together in the nutshell. And in that. But yeah, this Profusa, this hydrogel, that's kind of my line of looking. I'm not, so y'all don't think I'm not, he's not saying, I'm still not thinking it's a good idea for mRNA recombinant technology, CRISPR, to be used for, mutating so you can deal with a common cold. I'm not down with that. Well, I have a ton of other stuff up here, so let's see what else might be funny and what else might be not. Let's see. Boom. Oh, it's our favorite goat himself. I'm not good with trying to edit, and I don't know if he gets slammed here, but anyway, Bill Gates says life will return to, well, hold on, I can't do no voice on him, but I can do a pretty good Bill Gates impression because I can act like a crackhead. Check it out. Bill Gates says life will return to normal only after second generation of COVID vaccines are rolled out and the virus is eliminated globally, and we're jabbing genetically modified organisms right into little kids' arms. We just shoot it right in there. Just shoot it right in the vein. Mr. Billy Gates. Technology tycoon Bill Gates said life can get back to normal only when a second generation of COVID-19 vaccines is widely available and the virus is eradicated worldwide. Because we're going to eradicate the flu. We've only been working on that since the beginning of the Rockefellers taking away natural medicine and filling you up with their sorceries and pharmakia. Since the Spanish flu, We've still got the flu. That's, I'm sorry. I should have given them one more year. 102 years just was not enough. Year 103 is going to be the ticket. And now, according to Bill Gates, we've only got to wait one more. And on year 104, they should have the second generation COVID-19 SARS-CoV-76. Take a Tylenol. Drink a Gatorade. Eat some toast. Force it down. And you'll probably be okay. At least 99% of you anyway. For the other 1%, tell Jesus I love him and I hope to see him soon. That's the best I can do for you. Whew. Wow, guys. Holy cow. I clicked something a while ago and a couple of my screens went down. I very rarely get to see the statistics for YouTube. I see there are 55 people watching. That is awesome. Y'all, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Just getting my rant on. Normally, I would play music and at the end, and I give some lemon away back to people, but I kind of get lost here, and I'm not sure what I can and can't play without the copyrights, and I have little clips of stuff I'd like to play. So you guys, if you're not following on dlive, that's what I need to do. I need to show y'all the dlive channel. Bamboo, good to see you. Much love. If I missed anybody coming in, Journey, I don't think I've called your name. If I missed anybody, much love to all of you guys. I just cannot see this YouTube chat worth a crap. Jenny 8675309. Welcome in. I cannot help it every time I see it. Oh, and now I find out who she is at dlive. She is at dlive. She's over there. And now I know she is, and it still runs through my head, and I go, ah! Okay. Larry K, welcome in. Much love to you. Alright, what else? So, nothing returning to normal. I had something about the high priest of health himself, Dr. Fauci. What was he saying? Oh, yeah. Dr. Fauci, the high priest of health and medicine for the United States of America, making policy since 1980 and failing miserably, says social distancing likely until 2022. Now, October 22nd, 2020, with cases continuing to rise in many states and a vaccine yet to come, but soon to be shoved straight down your throat, Americans should prepare to wear masks and socially distance for quite a while. People will likely need to wear masks and follow social distancing guidelines through the end of 2021 and into 2022, one of the nation's top infectious disease experts said during a recent meeting, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. Fauci said, I feel very strongly that we're going to have some degree of public health measures to continue. If it's not going to be that way it was with polio and measles, where you get a vaccine, case closed, it's done. It's going to be public health measures that linger for months and months, and it's going to linger as long as the politicians need it to continue to put their foot on the throat of the Americans and us to get our way with the plan that we've got going on. The vaccine will be ready, and we'll get it into as many people as possible. And once we get the major damage count out of the way and know exactly what the vaccine does and how many of them needless eaters we can get rid of at one time and how many of the others will just blindly follow, then life will start to get back to normal for the elite, and we will just take every other little thing from the common man because they really think we're doing it all for their benefit too. It's just going to be a very funny thing to watch y'all go down. Wow, did I say all that out loud? Anyway, priest of health, Fauci, says masks and social distancing till 2022. Oh, but he also said, yeah, this is going to be funny. This is funny. He also said, it's not going to be the way it was with polio and measles, where you get a vaccine, case closed, it's done. Well, according to CNN, it's not case closed, it's done. It says that Americans are at a risk of a polio outbreak because of the coronavirus. What? Just the propaganda machine never stops turning. The fear never stops being pushed, and the idiots never quit sucking it up. Health experts fear. Health experts. Who are these experts? How come we don't ever get their name? How come they're health experts at this place here have said, and when anybody goes to question them, they go, hey, I didn't say nothing like that. Well, who are these health experts? Hey, how about this? Fallout says, fear the media because there's an outbreak of craziness in the media that's trying to push fear down your throat. Rule number 1 to surviving the great pandemic of 2020, turn off your television. Rule number 2, if you have a problem turning off your television, it may be best for you to remove your television completely from the premises, mainly probably by a second story or better window so that when you retrieve it, you still can't plug it up. That right there might be your best bet for surviving the coronavirus pandemic of 2020. I mean, he's talking about polio, boom, and we're done. And CNN's going, nope, we're not done. The coronavirus is going to bring polio back. It's just going to be the end of the world because, well, we got to sell a bunch of these. For those of you guys that are just joining us, Visor Technologies, selling you the space to breathe, designed for superior protection when distancing is just not possible. Engineered to protect, 360-degree barrier, robust seal, two-way air filtration, positive pressure system. We are on a mission because it is our mission to take respiratory protection to the next level and bring powered air purifying technology to the people who need it most. You dumb sheep who believe everything your media tells you to. From the wildfires to urban pollution to pandemics, access to clean air can no longer be taken for granted. No, not with the air industry using all of the heavy metals into the fuels as they are, making them more combustible and dumping them straight onto your head. Their team of designers and engineers strive to advance groundbreaking solutions and sell it to you based on the sense of the common cold and not all of the crap that we're actually dumping on you, causing the problems to begin with. One lie covering up one lie with one marketable product after one more marketable product to take every dime that you make just so you can have access to halfway clean air. You're not going to get clean water unless you filter it yourself because, well, quite frankly, we're just going to poison the living out of you. And that's my opinion on all that. That's where I stand. Just in case you were wondering, and I hadn't made it clear in the past. All right. I'm going to have to give my kids some time on the computer so that I can get ready for a dlive thing later. So I got two things I want to share with y'all. I'm going to share the dlive channel and the dlive link. Most of this stuff is mainstream news that I find. It just pops up. So it's not like it's real hard, deep stuff to look at. You just got to look at it with a discerning eye. You got to look at it with an eye that not the normal eye. And you got Fauci mask social distancing. That's from webmd.com. Get that in there. And I'll try to get these links that I used over in the chat too. This was Bill Gates on the second wave. I am not good at this part of it, guys. This part kind of sucks. Okay. Yeah, and I know a lot of people do, and there's a lot of things that they can change and set, but over a period of time, it usually gets better, and that's a problem. As much as YouTube sucks, they still have the biggest platform where the people are at, and people don't want to leave because they're comfortable with using it. No matter what the platform stands for, they're just people won't leave. So, but I've got to come over here some, and if any of you guys have anything that you would like to put into the chat, now is the time. I mean, prayer requests into the chat, now is the time, and we will have our prayer and get out of here. And there was something else that I wanted to do that I'm looking for. Oh yeah, here it is. This is the dlive page. This is the dlive link. Alright. Okay, there's the dlive link. And I can just do things there that I can't do here. And at nighttime, I try to have a fun place for us to hang out. I mean, if the end of the world's coming, why not have a good time doing it right? I don't think we have to live with a stick up our all the time. I just don't see no point in it. We're not supposed to have to live that way, and I refuse to. So, this is it. You can go down here to the bottom in our about section. You can actually go find our t-shirts, links for the EMF protective clothing, links for EMP shield. That stuff is also in the description of this video. I can now upload videos to dlive, so the last video that I made, it's also loaded to dlive. I'm going to start loading all my videos there. It keeps up to 25 replays of the live stream from the night before, and you can go click and watch the replays of the live streams up to like 25 days. And yeah. And I had some issues there where I missed a little bit, but we've kind of been back on track streaming nightly, so yeah. All right. And this is where you can click to reach shirts. That's not what I wanted to reach. I push climateviewer.com, weathermodificationhistory.com, and abovegroundworldnews.com in my about section. So, and I don't know about the other guy. He seemed to kind of just disappeared. So anyway, and that takes care of all of that. Off. And now I would normally there we go. Now I would normally give away some lemon and play a song, but we're just going to pray and get out of here. Prayer for more people's eyes to be open. Father, you see everything here in these chats, so y'all know I'm probably not going to be able to read these requests, so we're going to have to just know that the Father sees them. My eyes are just not going to deal with that today. So anyway, Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together in this time of fellowship. We thank you for allowing us to be able to see the things that you have pointed out for us, to know about the great deceptions, and allow us to just remain connected to you and to be able to come straight to you. And we thank you for everything that's happened in our lives that allow that to happen. Father, I ask you to continue to protect each and every one of us here with the full armor of God daily, that you give us the ability to grab those fiery darts that the devil's throwing at us, block them, throw them down, grab them, pick them up, throw them back, and just fight back, Father. Father, you see the requests in the Discord, you see the requests in the dlive chat, and you see the requests in the YouTube chat. Father, I pray that you Send the Holy Spirit to answer all of them in your time and your knowledge and your wisdom, so that your power and glory can be shown, and people may come to the kingdom for whatever the issue is. For there's not a problem, but there's always a solution to go with it. Father, we pray for you to send the healing to the people that need it and the comfort to those that need it as well. I just ask you to be with everyone. You know, the ones that are dealing with all the different cancer battles, the ones that are dealing with the surgeries that are coming up. I just pray that you continue to touch them, continue to heal them, let them gather their strength during this time. And we thank you for it all in your Son's, Jesus Christ's name. All right, guys. For those of you guys that don't know, Jim Lee has actually put on some weight. Praise the Father in heaven, which is awesome for what he was going through and the amount of weight he lost. When I talked to him, I don't remember if it was like 12, 15 pounds, but it was weight, and that is just freaking awesome. Was really glad to hear that, and yeah. So, for all of y'all that have stuck around this long, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all I started designing some t-shirts, and I kind of enjoy it. And if you want to check them out, there's a link in the description. Maybe wear some things that you just won't say out loud, but maybe people see it on a shirt and they'll stop and ask you about it. So check that out. And I'm going to try to, like I say, I always say I will try to get on here more, but it's really hard with my work schedule. dlive every night. That's just where it's where the thing that I like to do is done. So that's all I can say. It's not that I don't love you. I love each and every one of you. We just started something there and it kind of stuck, and I don't want to leave it. I feel like it has a special meaning. We get to reach a lot of people that aren't going to get reached on YouTube, and it's not about numbers for me. It's just about that specific particular one, and that might be the only one that I'm here for, and I need to make sure that I'm here for them. So remember, love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. If you follow those three things, everything else is going to line up for you. And that's it. You don't have to go through another man. You don't have to deal with all that. Your relationship's right there between you and your Father. And that's it. So I hope you guys have a great day and a great night and all of that good stuff. And I appreciate all of you being here. And hopefully I will get to catch all of you tomorrow. And have a great night, evening, or whatever it is, wherever you're at, whatever the case may be.